Okay, in this training today, on your final visit from NACCAS, the accreditation team, they're going to send you a checklist. They're going to email it to you, and you're going to have to do this work before they come to your school. Now, I'm going to show you the beginning of the checklist that you're going to receive from NACCAS. So I'm going to scroll up so you all can see this. I'm going to go to page 1. All right. So basically, this is the checklist for your school visit, for your full team. This is the final visit, okay? Now, everything on here is pretty self-explanatory and very simple, but a lot of school owners have an issue, a problem with section H. So I'm not going to go over section A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over section H because that is the section that most school owners have a problem with. Okay, so let's go down here to section H. So we're going to scroll down to section H. Okay, so we're at section H. Now, if you look at section H, they want you to provide all of these policies and procedures. Okay, if you look at this, the first thing it says, leave of absence policy, if applicable, if you have one. Now, they want you to have 2 copies. Why? Because they're going to have a 4-team member that comes there. And they're going to be looking at different sections. That's why they want you to have a certain amount of copies. Now, the next thing, cross-reference satisfactory academic progress policy. Cross-reference institutional refund policy. Now, when they say cross-reference, they want the checklist with the policy. And I'm going to show you this. So, cross-reference catalog, they want 3 copies. Everything that they're asking for right here, 99.9% of it is in your institutional self-study. That's that 200 to 400 page document. So what we have to do, and the program that we're in right now that you're looking at is Adobe Acrobat. Remember Adobe Acrobat. Okay, now I'll give you an example. So remember, they want the leave of absence policy. So what we're going to do, this is an institutional self-study of a school that we completed, the team. It's 222 pages, all right? They're usually anywhere from 200 to 400 pages. They asked for a leave of absence policy. We've already bookmarked this entire institutional self-study. So what we have to do, we have to go over here and find the leave of absence policy, okay? So that's what I'm looking at right now. I already have it bookmarked. And I click on this exhibit. It's already bookmarked. So this is the leave of absence policy, all right? Once I click on the bookmark, and if you look at this, this is the checklist, okay? This leave of absence policy is already in compliance with NACCAS and the government. Now, this is the checklist. So what we have to do, since they want 2 copies of this, what we're going to do is extract the leave of absence policy and checklist from the institutional self-study and put it in another folder. So we're going to click on these 2 pieces of paper up here at the top. And this is on page 114. So I'll go down here and I'm going to hold down my command key because I'm on a Mac computer. A PC would be different. So I'm on page 114. So if you look at it, I just clicked on page 114. I'm holding down the command. This is the second page. This is the leave of absence policy. So what I'm going to do is click up here where you see the screen, and I'm going to click extract. Okay? And okay. What just happened? I just extracted the leave of absence policy with the checklist. So that's the first thing that we just did. Now, you can pay a consultant $1,000 or more to do this. But I'm showing you exactly how to do this. We get calls like this every week. The next thing that they want, cross-reference satisfactory academic progress policy. So we're going to go to the institutional self-study. We're going to click on this bookmark over here. We got to find the satisfactory academic progress policy, which is down here, exhibit 9.5. We click on it. It's on page 208. We're going to click on the two pieces of paper at the top left, these folders. We're going to go down here to 208. And what we're going to do, we're going to click on it. Click on 208, hold down the command, and we got to click on each one of these, the checklist. This is the policy. Okay. Scrolling on down. And what we got to do now is click on this drop down arrow, click on extract, and click OK. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky, but I'm going to make it real simple. So we just extracted the leave of absence policy and put that in a folder, but that's the first thing they're looking for. Now, the next thing that they're looking for is the satisfactory academic progress policy. Okay. So what we have to do now, what we're going to do, this is a satisfactory academic progress policy. So now we're in Adobe Acrobat. There's a little arrow over here. I'm looking at this little arrow. You can see it. You see that arrow? Click on that. When you click on it, the next step you have to do is go up here and click on these two folders right here. Now, this is the satisfactory academic progress policy, but we want that behind the leave of absence policy so we can have everything in order, and then we can save the entire folder and print it out. If they want 2 copies, 4 copies, 1 copy, whatever. So what we're going to do is click on each page, hold down the command if you're on a Mac. Okay. Click on these. And now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click the C because I want to copy this. So now I've copied it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the page of the leave of absence policy, which is here. And then I have to click this little arrow right here that you see. The next thing I'm going to do, go up to the top, you see right here, click these 2 folders. Now, you see the leave of absence policy. What I'm going to do is click right up under page 3. And since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to hit Command V because I've copied it. Now I'm going to paste it. Command V is in Victor. Look what happened. I just copied the satisfactory academic progress policy in the folder of the leave of absence policy. Okay. Now, that's the folder I'm in. So what I'm going to do now, that folder that I singly had in the satisfactory academic progress policy, just the satisfactory academic progress policy, that single folder, since I copied it to the leave of absence policy, I don't need that old folder anymore. So now I'm deleting that. Okay, let's go back to our checklist. So what we've done now, we have the leave of absence policy, satisfactory academic progress policy. Where do we get those? We got that from the school's institutional self-study, because you have to submit your institutional self-study to NACCAS ahead of time. So now let's go back to our checklist. Now they want the institutional refund policy that's cross-referenced. So we have to go to our institutional self-study. We're going to click on the bookmarks. Now we got to go to the refund policy. So I have to look over here and find the refund policy, which is exhibit 7.3. How do I know it's exhibit 7.3? Because I'm looking at it right here. Now it's on page 181. We have to click on the 2 folders at the top right here. All right. So we go to 181, click on that, hold the command down. This is the refund policy. Now, so what we have to do now hit C. We can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all an easy way so you don't have to extract it. Now what I'm going to do is show you a shortcut. What I just did, I just clicked on each one in my institutional self-study and hit Command C. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy that right behind the satisfactory academic progress policy. So I'm going to the folder of the leave of absence. The folder with the leave of absence, we got the satisfactory academic progress policy. Now they want the refund policy with the checklist. So let's go over here. And we're going to go to the very end down here. Click on that and hit Command. We're going to hold down Command and hit Command V as in Victor. Now look what happened. We just copied the refund policy with the checklist right up under the satisfactory academic progress policy. So I showed y'all two ways, but now I showed you the shortcut. Now, what do we have to do? We have to go back to our checklist. And even if you get lost, I am recording this. If you don't feel like doing this, fine. Pay a consultant $1,000 and it's going to take them about an hour to do this. It'll probably take you 2 hours. They're going to charge you a minimum of $1,000. Some of them charge about $2,500 to do this. So it's best that you watch this. Now what? The reference, cross-reference enrollment agreement. What we're going to do, we're going to the institutional self-study. We click on the bookmarks. Now we're going to look for the enrollment agreement. Cross-reference, exhibit 4.3, page 66. Click on the two folders. Click on page 66. If you're on a Mac, hold down the Command key. Let's make sure. This is, no, that's the school catalog. It said the enrollment agreement. Let me make sure. Yeah, enrollment agreement. School catalog is after that. So let's go to the enrollment agreement, which is exhibit 4.8. This is the enrollment agreement. Page 94. Click on the two folders. Click on 94. Hold down the Command. Enrollment agreement right here. There. Hit, while you got the Command key held down, click on C for copy. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to back to where we're pasting everything. Go to the bottom, click paste. Now we have the enrollment agreement. Let's go back to the checklist. Now the checklist wants the catalog. Okay. So what we got to do, go to the institutional self-study, which is right here. Click on the bookmarks. This folder right here, that's the bookmark. Now we got to click on the school catalog, exhibit 4.3, page 66. Now we have to click on the 2 pages. And I know this may be boring, but when it's time for you to go through your final inspection, you're going to love this video training right here. This video training is worth minimum of $1,000. No one is going to show you this training. There is no training like this nowhere on internet. You can't Google it. You can't go on YouTube. The training that you all are seeing right now is nowhere on the internet. No one is going to show you this training. So now what we're going to do, we're going to click on here. And we got to go to the end of the catalog. End of the catalog, which is right here. And now we got to click copy. We have to go back to where we were because we just copied and pasted the enrollment agreement with the checklist. Now what we're doing is the catalog and click paste. We just pasted the catalog with the checklist. Go back to the checklist. What are they asking for now? We're making ground. Look, policy on distance education. They don't do distance education, so we can skip that. Policy on externship. They don't have an externship program. We can skip that. instructor meeting policy. Okay, now let's go to instructor meeting policy. We have to go back to the institutional self-study. Okay, now we got to go up here and we got to look for instructor meeting. That's probably in standard 2. Okay, instructor meeting minutes, instructor meeting policy. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on standard 2, and I'm going to make this big. I'm going to find instructor meeting policy. Okay, I'm looking for instructor meeting policy in here. So we have to find their policy. It's in the institutional self-study. So I'm scrolling down. Once I find it, I'm going to show it to y'all. Okay, here's their policy right here. Staff meetings. This is their policy right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull this page out. Really, yeah, I'll pull this page out. Actually, what I'll do, I'm just going to copy this because this is their instructor meeting policy. So let me copy this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the page we're working on. So we're going to scroll down here to the bottom. I'm going to click at the very end, and I'm going to insert a blank page. I just inserted a blank page. And in order to be able to paste what we just copied, over here to the right, I'm going to click on Edit PDF. I just clicked on Edit PDF over here on the right. Now I'm going to click on Add Text. Okay, I'm going to click in the white part and hit Command V. But for some reason, it didn't come out right. So what I'm going to do, let me delete that, because I don't like the way that came out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to delete what I just put in here. So now let's go back to where we were. And if you look at this, let me make this big so y'all can see this. This is the policy right here. That's the policy right here. Staff meetings are annual. Instructional issues and all that I'll discuss at this time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back over here and see if I can do that again. Okay, here it is. There it is right there. So staff meetings are discussed at this time. Okay, now what this is right here, this is instructor meeting policy. And I want to share something with you all. You only have to have one instructor meeting per year. Okay, so I'm going to title this. And I'm going to share something with y'all. You only have to have one instructor meeting per year. If you put in your policy that you have an instructor meeting every month and NACCAS comes to your school, they're going to want to see an instructor meeting for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. If you don't have that, they're going to write you up and give you a limitation. So you want to let them know, you want to do the minimum, at least put the minimum in your policy. Staff meetings are annually. So now if NACCAS comes, all you got to have as documentation is one meeting per year. Whether you got 10, 11, 12, 5, 6, it does not matter as long as you have that one. Okay, that right there is going to save y'all thousands of dollars, what I just told y'all. Next thing, admissions policy and procedures. Okay, let's go to our institutional self-study. We're going to look over here, and admissions is probably in, it is in right here, exhibit 4.1. So let's click on that. This is the admissions policy. So we're going to click on the two folders. That's page 65. So we're going to go to 65, Command C, copy. Go here, click under there, and paste it. Okay? It's that simple. Now, let's go back. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. Now we're down here to transfer policy. What do? Go to our institutional self-study. I know this is probably boring to y'all, but trust me, this is going to help you. Go to the transfer policy. We got to find the transfer policy, exhibit 4.15. This is page 120. Click on our folder, go to 120, which is right here. Copy it. What do? We go back to where we're working from, click at the bottom, click paste. Now, the next thing, go back to our checklist. Where are we at now? We're at the transfer policy or reentry. What did we just do? Transfer policy. Okay, so now we're at the reentry policy. Okay, so go down to our ISS and transfer policy. They want the reentry policy. Our reentry policy is in our school catalog. Okay. So let's go to our school catalog and look up the reentry policy. So let's go to the school catalog, because a lot of y'all probably don't even know that, but it has to be in here. So now let's scroll down. We got to find the reentry policy. Reentry policy. Here it is right here. I'm going to copy that. Now, what we're going to do, we're going over here. We're going to click at the bottom. We're going to insert a blank page. Remember, how do we paste up here? Go here. Control V. All right. Let's make this correct. Put that up here. Now, reentry policy. All right. Next thing, and you want to label this. So if we look at the checklist, look at this checklist, reentry policy, ability to benefit policy. A lot of schools don't have ability to benefit policy. This school didn't, so we can skip that. Internal grievance policy. Let's go here. We got to look at the grievance. So we're going to go over here. Grievance policy is right here. This is page 139. And our team does the institutional self-studies. This 200-page document, this school owner didn't do that. They paid our team to do it, okay? Most of the accredited schools that y'all see, I know y'all scratching y'all head, sweating, doing all this. Woo, this is a lot of paperwork. I didn't do the paperwork when I got accredited, you all. Miss Velma and her team did it. That's how I got accredited so fast. I didn't do all that paperwork. All of these school owners that you all see out here that are accredited, receiving millions of dollars and hundreds and thousands of dollars of government funding, they've gone through accreditation. They didn't do their paperwork. They paid somebody. It's like we all have houses, correct? Did you build your house? I didn't build this house. We paid somebody. It's that simple. Okay, grievance. So this is page 139, but I wanted to share that with y'all. So to let you all know, a lot of school owners, they're not going to tell you this, but I'm telling you that they didn't do that themselves. 99.9% of them paid somebody. Okay, so now we put, we got the reentry, transfer, reentry. And we got to put the grievance policy. So let me go here, make sure this is page. All right, so I copied that, go here, go to the bottom, and we're going to paste it. Command V. Looks like the computer might be stuck. Let's see. All right, boom, there it is. Grievance procedures. All right, so now the checklist. Go back to our checklist. Where are we at? Academic advising policy. So what we have to do, we have to go back to our NACCAS checklist, and we got to look for the academic advising policy. And if you don't find these policies on the bookmarks, then what you got to do, you're going to have to go to your school catalog. I don't see it on the bookmarks, the academic advising policy. It may be here. I just may be overlooking it, but I do know that the academic advising policy is in the catalog. So I'm clicking here, and let's go to the catalog. All right, admissions policy, reentry, non-discrimination policy, sexual harassment, right to privacy, policy for reviewing files, grading, graduation, employment, instructional, tuition, advising, right here, advising services. That's one. We're going to go to make sure we don't see any others. Counseling, student conduct, grievance, refund. We've already done that. SAP policy, attendance progress, maximum time frame, academic progress evaluations. That's what we're looking at. Academic, right here. Copy this. Copy. All right. Now, this is what we're going to do. Actually, you know what? We're going to take this whole page. This is what I'm going to do, because we got to get these grades right here. So this is page 79. So what we're going to do, go here, go to page 79 and copy. Now we're going here. We're going to put it at the very bottom. We're going to paste it. But it just wants the academic evaluations. It doesn't want all, so we'll just leave it right here. Academic. Okay. Next thing, what's the next checklist on here? Attendance policy. Okay. Let's go over here to our institutional self-study, go to the bookmarks, attendance policy. Let's go to school catalog, which is what we're looking at. Let's look for the attendance policy. Okay. So we'll just start back. All right, here's the catalog. Mission statement. We're looking for attendance. Reentry. We'll just keep going. Graduation, employment, refund. We don't want that. We're looking for attendance. SAP. Attendance. Right here. Okay. Here's the attendance policy. So we'll just take this page right here, or what we can do, we can take this right here and we can copy it. All right. And what we're going to do now, we're going to go back to that page and we're going to click at the bottom and we're going to click insert blank page. And then we're going to click there and hit Command V as in Victor, attendance policy. So now let's scoot that up to make this, the lines align correctly. And NACCAS minimum attendance policy is 67%. Okay. Now, we're not going to have this bold. So I'm going to click this T over here to make it unbold. All right, so what we just did the first part right here. And it took us 30 minutes. Now, look at this. State regulations govern institutional for facilities equipment. This is already in their institutional self-study. Watch this. Go to the ISS, and that's state regulations for advertisement. We're going to go here, and we're going to look where the rules. We're looking for equipment. Below provides state regarding requirements. No, we're looking for equipment. This is the curriculum here. That's the curriculum. We got to do that one too. But we're looking for state regulations regarding equipment. And we will look here. See, right here. Here's the equipment, the stations and all that. So what we got to do, that's page 34. So we'll click on here, page 34. Is here. Let's look at that. Okay. So that's these two pages. Copy that. And we'll go here. And then we're going to insert, paste. And then we're going to look at the checklist. Look, state regulations govern. So what I'll do, this one, I'm going to make this real simple. So if NACCAS, we want to make everything as simple as possible. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this up here. All right. See how we got that? All right. Now, let's go back. The checklist. What's next? Governor curriculum. So we just go over here to our institutional self-study, go to our bookmark, and we want to look for the state regulations governing the curriculum. Here it is right here. You see the curriculum? Page 36. Click on the folder. 36, but it goes to 37, 38. Let's see if it's 39, 40. No, so it's 36. 37, 38. All right, boom, copy. Just want to look at something. Yeah, okay. So that's the curriculum. So now we go down here, and what we're going to do is click paste, and watch this. We'll just take some of this out at the top, so we'll have space for this. And now we're going to go to this checklist right here, which is the curriculum. We just want to copy, highlight this, because we need to let NACCAS know what this is. And then we're going to come here, paste, highlight that. Okay, so now we're at the checklist. Now, state regulations govern a mandated refund policy, if applicable. Their state does not have a mandated refund policy. Some states do, like California, Texas, but other states don't. The majority of them don't. Most of them use the NACCAS refund policy, and that's what this school uses. And a lot of times, NACCAS, they already know if your state may use that or may not, or if your school may use that. That's why on some of these they have if applicable. See, if applicable. Look now, ability to benefit student, if applicable. And that's where they may have to take an outside test to get in your school. So now what we've done, we've been doing this 38 minutes. And I'm not going to go through the rest of this. Well, actually, I will hit this one now. Improvement plan, if applicable, based on the feedback from the advisory committee. So if we go here to the institutional self-study, let's go to the bookmark, and we're going to see if they have any feedback that we need to do. So what they want to know, let's go back here. Improvement plan, based on feedback from advisory committee, students, graduates. Go to the ISS. Advisory committee, they recommended that we encourage the students and all that students, graduates financially. Describe any changes or improvements as a result of feedback. So what did they do? They added TV, computer, and all of that. So let's go here, go to the bottom, insert a blank page, and we need to put that information right here. All right, we're not gonna have that bold, we'll unbold it. And now we need to go to the checklist. Why do we need to go to the checklist? Because we need to put this right here. We basically need to highlight this, copy it, and we need to put it at the top. Why? Because NACCAS needs to know what this is. And when you label everything, this is a very important tip. When you label everything for NACCAS, in their mind, your school has everything together. Your school is organized, and they won't look deep. They'll just flim. It may be something wrong, but they'll just keep going because everything is organized and in a systematic manner. So when they come to your school, if you have all of this stuff organized, printed out, the 2 documents, everything, out on the table, chances are you're probably not going to get any limitations. They're going to say, oh, wow, dang, we done came to this school and Dr. Lake got his stuff together. Charles Hilton got it together. Elizabeth and Jenny, they got their stuff together. Javonda and John, they got their blank together, starting with an S. That's what some of them going to be saying. Javani, she got her stuff together. Karen Morrison in Brooklyn, all her stuff is together. Lacey, LaWan Dior, Martin, oh, wow, they got their stuff together. Michelle Barnes, South Carolina, her stuff is together. Prudencia, Shavonda, Savangil, Sandra, Zandra, her stuff is together. But if you don't have your stuff printed out and organized and it's all mumbo jumbo, it's going to irritate those 4 evaluators, and they're going to get upset, and they probably going to start, they're going to get their pen out. You're going to have probably a bunch of limitations because you've already irritated them. If Chin didn't have his stuff together and organized, Chin ain't got his blank together, so they just grid right up stuff, okay? So I'm sharing some stuff with you all. This training right here, this is going to be one of the most important trainings that y'all attend. Now, I know it's probably the most boring. People probably have left and all of that, but this is going to save you a few $1,000s, and it's going to make you millions of dollars, because when they come to your school on that NACCAS final inspection, you don't have to be scared of anything, because you've already done this, and you're going to pull this video out right here and go step by step by step by step. And you don't have to do this. You can pay consultants. You can pay our team, the ladies, Anissa, Summer, Season, all them people. They'll be more than happy to do it. But I want to save y'all some money. And y'all can do this in 2 hours. in 2 hours, you can have this complete. So now let's go back to the checklist. The next thing, plan for instructor continuing education. Let's go to our institutional self-study. And let's go where the plan for continuing education. And this is 200 and some pages long, but a lot of this stuff I kind of know by heart. Kind of got it memorized. So plan for continuing education, exhibit 2.8. Okay, so we'll go here, 2.8. Now, that's it right here, page 26. What do? We go to the two folders, click on that. We go to page 26 down here. We're going to copy that. And then we go here to the bottom and paste it. Look, now we need to label that, because if things are not labeled, remember, they're going to get teed off. They're going to get irritated because they don't know what this is. So what we got to do, plan for continuing education, hit it, edit, and then we're going to delete this right here. So now, look at that. So now they already know what this is. Plan for instructor continuing education. They're going to have, NACCAS is going to have this checklist right here. Plan for use of substitutes. Let's go to the institutional self-study. Plan for instructor substitute. Substitute instructor procedure. Here it is. Click here. Page 23. Click on the folders. Page 23. We're going to copy that. How did you copy that? I'm on a Mac. Put your finger, any one of these 4 fingers, hold down the command key. This is for the men. When you hold down the command key, there's a C key, like chin, cheeks, the C key. While you hold the command key down with this finger, hit the C key and it copies, okay? Now, what you're going to do, you're going to go over here to where we've been working, go to the very bottom down here. You're going to take the mouse. This is the mouse, not a mouse in your house that eats cheese. This is the mouse, and you're going to click on here, okay? Click at the bottom of 54. When you click that, you're going to see paste. Click paste. What happened? Now it just appeared to substitute. What we're going to do, take this mouse right here, okay? We're going to point it up here, back to the checklist. Take the mouse, hold this down with your finger, with your pointing finger. While you hold it down, drag it across that. Take this finger, press Command, and then C if you're on a Mac, or you can right click on the mouse and hit copy. So I'm hitting Command C. I just copied that. Take the mouse, go back over here. At the bottom, click, and we're going to paste it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Command V as in Victor. Command V. It didn't work. So guess what? I got to go back over here. I got to go back over here because we on, what are we on? Use for substitutes. You know what? That's it, use for substitutes. But I know what? It's the text that I'm trying to copy. Command V. There it is right there. Edit, take this part off. Plan for use of substitutes. I just highlighted this and I'm going over here to the, you see this T? I don't want that bold. All right. Why? Because I just want NACCAS to be able to see, okay, plan for use of substitutes. Boom, boom, boom. They probably won't even read that, y'all. If y'all organize, I'm telling you, they're going to zip right through this. Go to the checklist. Institutions operating policies and procedures. Okay. That's in the school catalog. All right. So we'll go back over here. We'll look at this. Institutions operating policies and procedures. privacy and release of information, policies and forms, program participation agreement. That's going to be NA. You're not going to do this because you don't have a program participation agreement because you're not receiving Title IV funding. You're not receiving financial aid. We've been doing this 48 minutes, and look how much ground we've covered. Articulation agreement. You don't have an articulation agreement. Training agreements with other entities. You probably don't have a training agreement with any other high schools or prisons or whatever. If you do, then you'll have that agreement. You have to put that in here. Requirements for graduation. That's in your school catalog. Publish annual report outcomes. That's in the school catalog. Advisory committee roster. That's in your institutional self-study. Okay? Let's scroll down. Advisory committee meeting minutes. That's in your institutional self-study. Okay? Documentation of feedback from current students, graduates, and instructors. Those are those current student surveys, graduate surveys, instructor surveys. That's in here. Okay? Let's see. Summary of feedback from current students. That's in the institutional self-study. List of currently employed regular instructors. That's in the institutional self-study. Personal file for each currently employed instructor. You have that. They can fill out an employment form. Then you probably have a copy of their instructor's license in there. Also, license and credentials. That's their license for instructors and substitute. Instructor meeting minutes. That's in the institutional self-study. Documentation of completed continuing education. That's in the institutional self-study. Performance evaluations for each instructor. That's in there. State license from the state board. That's in your institutional self-study. Okay? So all of these things, let's see. Copy of enrollment information. You're going to have a copy of the enrollment agreement. Access to institution's catalog. The orientation forms, the pre-orientation receipt, the orientation checklist, that will cover all of this right here. Now, documentation showing students have received the required enrollment information. That's that enrollment agreement pre-receipt, that checklist, an orientation checklist, and pre-orientation receipt. Those two documents will cover those. Evidence that students were provided access. That's going to cover all of those. Okay? Program outlines, that's in your institutional self-study. It's in the catalog also. Sample lesson plans, that's in the institutional self-study. We've been doing this 51 minutes. The last 5 minutes, I'm going to go through the institutional self-study and show y'all everything that I just told you all, so you will know. Documentation, a letter from the state board outlining distance education that may be offered. Most schools don't have distance education. If you do, you need a letter from your state board. Examples of written and practical tests. That's in the institutional self-study. Completed practical grading criteria. That's in the institutional self-study. But I want you to know, they may try to trick you and they may say, well, Elizabeth, Jenny, how do you grade your students on practical grades? It's 10 questions you have on here. What if they miss just half of the haircut on question number 8? How do you grade that? If they just get half of it right, or a third of it wrong, or a teensy-weensy wrong, it's either right or wrong. That's the answer. Tell them it's wrong. It's right or wrong. There's no half, quarter, none of that stuff. Let's see, copy of each of the same student list previously. Okay, they're going to want you to provide a copy of the current students, the past 12 months of graduates, past 12 months of withdrawals. They're going to want that list. And basically, they're going to highlight it and pick out a couple of students for their files, and they'll look through the full file. So now we've been doing this 52 minutes. So what I'm going to do now that you all see how to do this, because literally what we just did, if I was not talking, or Summer and this and Tracy, some of the other people that work with me, they would be at their home office and they would just zip through this, probably take them an hour. Other consultants probably take them an hour, 2 hours, but they're going to charge you about $1,000 or more. But this, you can save yourself some money and do it yourself. You don't want to do it, then pay. All right, so let's go to the institutional self-study. Advisory committee members. There's this right here. Advisory committee meeting. Current student surveys. Graduate surveys. Instructor surveys. Instructor license. Substitute instructor procedure. Instructor meeting minutes. Continuing education plan. Documentation of continuing education hours. Employee evaluation forms. School license. Rules and regulations for equipment of the school. School advertisement. Release form. Okay, let's go on down. Admissions policy. The catalog cross-reference with the checklist. Documentation of the student orientation checklist and pre-orientation receipt. This is the enrollment agreement cross-reference with NACCAS. Leave of absence policy with the checklist. Okay, example of a leave of absence policy. Non-discrimination policy. You cannot discriminate against age, race, color, sex, religion, creed, handicap, or ethnic origin. Transfer policy. Orientation components, letting everybody know this is documentation. They got everything in orientation and it's completed documentation. Curriculum outline. Grievance policy. Okay. The course outline. Rules and regulations for the course outline. Sample lesson plans. Cross-reference refund policy. Examples of refunds. Resume. Right here, there's a resume. Let's see. Rules and regulations from the state board governing the equipment. Exterior side, you got to have a picture of that. The practical grades, we talked about that, whether it was right or wrong. If they were asking Ginny or Elizabeth or Zandra or whatever, or LaJuan, Marvin, or Michelle, you know all of that. Satisfactory academic progress evaluation examples. Graduation requirements. This is right here. Okay, that's it. So I wanted to share this with you all. So what we just did, we just went through that checklist when they come to visit your school on the final visit. So this is the document that you're going to get. Let's go back. Where was I at? Let's see. Let me pull this up. I'm going to show y'all this so you all know. So let me go back here. I'm looking at this screen. All right, so here, let me make this big. There's a checklist right here. We got like 5 minutes left. So here's the checklist. It is no secret when they're coming to your school. They're not coming to close you down or to write you up and do all of that. They send you this checklist and you get months to get prepared. If you do everything correctly in the program, you don't have to worry about this stuff. Okay, ensure that all revisions are outlined in the ISS. That's already been done. Review section H below. Prepare these documents before they arrive. Let's go down here. Annual report documentation. You do that 4 months prior to this. We have videos showing you how to do the annual report. We even do it for you. Even if you don't know what an annual report is. Let's go down. On site. You got to submit a completed survey. That's just this one page, this form. Okay. To be received a minimum of 7 days before they come to your school. Now, remember I told you they're going to want you to run a report of currently attending students, the last 12 months of graduates, last 12 months of withdrawals. And you got to have what course they're in, the date they started, when they withdrew, how many hours they have, how many scheduled hours, actual hours, all of that. If you have the FAME system, Discovery Pro, Genesis, Smart System, any of those, you can easily run these reports. I didn't have that system, so I did it in like an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. But if you have those systems, I'm telling you, it'll be a whole lot easier. And that'll be on your final visit. Now, organize and label all required documents from the list below. Okay? So what I'm going to do, these last couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how to bookmark it. Well, no, since you got to print these out, when you print them out, just label it. Just get a sheet of paper and say, instructor so-and-so, the survey, current student surveys, and put that on the top so they'll know exactly what that is. Now, when we're submitting this electronically, we have to do a bookmark, an electronic bookmark. If you all, let me see. So I'll show you how to do electronic bookmark. I'm going to show you that real quick. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the top. So now this right here, this is policy for leave of absence. So what I'm going to do is click edit. All right. I click edit and I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to type policy for leave of absence. Okay. Now I'm highlighting that. I just highlighted it. I copied it. Okay. And what I'm doing, I'm clicking on this bookmark, which is this right here. Click that. Click here. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back here. Go back to the top. Okay, so what I want to do is click this bookmark. Click on bookmark where it's got blank page. So now what I'm going to do, click on this plus. So I click this bookmark. Let me go back here so you can see this. Go back to the top. Click this bookmark. I'm going to start here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste what I just did, the leave of absence, okay? All of these blanks, I'm deleting that where it has blank. Delete, delete. I'm going up here, delete. So now I got the leave of absence. All right, so let's start this off. Okay, Straight Blaze, thanks for the badge. All right, so let me go back up here. Let's go back to the top. All right, so here, highlight that. Highlight leave of absence, copy it. What we want to do, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click the bookmark and I'm going to paste that bookmark and I'm going to hit enter, return. That's the second one. This first one, I'm deleting that. All right. Now, if I go to this bookmark, let's look at this. Let me show you this because this is going to be really tricky on you all. So this right here is this bookmark right here. Okay. That's what that is. This right here. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to show you something. The next bookmark is going to be satisfactory academic progress. So this right here, I'm just going to put SAP, satisfactory academic progress. I'm going to highlight that and copy it. I'm going to click on the bookmark. Okay. And I'm going to paste it. You see SAP. I hit enter. Now, the one that was untitled, I'm deleting that. Now, watch this. I just clicked on the leave of absence policy bookmark. You saw that, and it just went to this leave of absence. If I was to email this to NACCAS and I had all of these bookmarks labeled and uploaded it to their portal, when they came over here and clicked on each electronic bookmark, it would go to the exact page. If I click on SAP, say I'm NACCAS and I click on SAP, it should go directly to the SAP page. Watch. See how it just went to the SAP page? If they click on leave absence policy, watch. It just went to leave absence. So all of those documents that we put in here, if we were doing an institutional self-study or if they wanted it electronically, that's how we would put the bookmarks. But NACCAS wants you to print all of this out. And some of them, they want 2 documents, 1 document, 2 documents, and you have to look at that. So you would print those out. You get a blank sheet of paper, write what it is, and put it on top. And then I would spread it out. That's how Ms. Velma taught me. Spread it out all on the table, all across the table, so they can just go in there and boom, 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 boom. So that's how you put together these documents for your final inspection. Okay. If you need any assistance, don't feel like doing it, don't have the time to do it, or don't want to do it because you want to do other things, too lazy to do it, don't want to wreck your brain or whatever, that's fine. Just reach out to us, millionairebarber@gmail.com or millionairebarber on Instagram. So hopefully you all learned some stuff tonight. The training that I showed you all, no one is going to show you this training. You will never see anyone give you this information, what I just showed you all tonight. I know it was kind of mind-boggling. I know it was boring, but this is the stuff that's going to get you to millions of dollars. This is the stuff that's going to get you accredited. This is the stuff that's going to put you ahead. These are the things that the Vedas, the Paul Mitchells, the Empires, they're paying people 6 figures to keep up with this type of stuff and to do this type of stuff for them. Okay? But you can do it yourself, or you can pay someone to do it. So I just wanted to give you all this training because this was a very important training. And I will be inviting some of our leaders on here who are accredited, who started from nothing, and now are receiving hundreds and thousands of dollars, some of them several $1 million per year. And they'll be invited on to share with you all. So hopefully y'all learned a lot tonight. Okay.